Hey everybody, today we're doing another potting. It's not really repotting. This thing was bought this way and see, it's huge. I think this is a red bud. I can't remember exactly, but I think it is. And I've already cut it down, but I'm going to cut it back even more, and we're going to try to get this little tree to fit in this little pot, but it's planted in this huge tub right now. So I don't know what the roots are going to be like. It may have bitten off more than I can chew, but we'll find out. So first thing we'll need to do is get this monster, and I don't know what it weighs, but it's not light. It's pretty heavy. Oh my goodness, you guys see that? Well, it came right out of there. It's very wet and heavy. I don't know what that weighs, but I don't want to lift too much more than that. I'm just going to start out with this thing. I put it on the ground. I want to work. Of course, all this needs to go. It's going to take forever, but I want to see, just like on the other one, I want to see where the widest part is. So I'm going to kind of go down, and I can tell it's hard to spin this around, but it looks like it's still widening out. If you guys can make that out, but right down in there, it looks like it's still getting wider. So I'm going to try to work it down to where it gets to the widest point, and then I'll make that the soil line. I want that trunk to be as wide as possible. Then we'll get in there and worry about where to and how many roots to take off. I decided to help myself out with this. I've got this high-powered sprayer. About, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes or so here. But here's the top, here's the bottom, and look at those section of roots that I ran into. I didn't think they'd be that big and gnarly this low. That's a good, I don't know, 10 inches away from the top. This is probably as wide as it's going to get right in here. But you can tell there's where we started out, way up here. So we're definitely going to be able to get the trunk wider when we do repot it. You can see where this gnarly root starts right here. Just this camera where you guys can see. But I'm definitely going to want to work down in here, and I think there's going to be plenty enough to work with. So I'll just come in here and start taking some of these guys completely out of there. They're growing like straight up. Dang, there it was. Got this huge chunk is out of the way. So now we're going to crank this baby back on and clean it up from the underside. Still got a long way to go. Okay, so now that we have it in a more workable size, we're gonna cut back the top, and then we'll go on to cutting out around and how much off the bottom. We're almost there. You can tell I've still got a ton of roots in there and got it pretty well compact. I'm going to need to cut some of these down a little more, figure out what angle, and see if it'll fit in that pot as wide as it was when we're done. We get it planted up. Alright, so since this is about as comfortable as I feel of taking these roots down to, I'll take them down just a hair more. But I went and picked out a different pot. This is our pot, the one that, if you guys ever watched any of my first bonsai videos, I dropped this first thing after I bought it, glued it back with I think I used Gorilla Glue, but we're going to cut these down a little bit more to get it to fit in that pot, and that's going to be its home for at least a year, maybe longer. And that's still a small pot. This tree really needs a huge pot again, but it's going to be a little tree. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and have to take these roots back now, and I think it'll be fine. So we're going to put a very little layer, and I'm using this is Brussels Bonsai Soil Professional Blend. I know what you're thinking. It looks to me like it's got too much fine stuff in it. But we're gonna go with it. This tree shouldn't really make a huge difference. But I'm actually putting a thin layer, and then I'm gonna work all of it down through the roots on this guy. And I will show you once I get all these roots stuck in, pushed down as low as I can get them. So you can see it's in there. And for now, I'll eventually cut some of this back. But that's going to be pretty much the front. I need some growth to happen back here. These aren't real. They're kind of flexible. I may end up just, bringing some of these around to get fill that area in when I'm done. I still had debated taking this guy completely off. He's going to be kind of high, but we'll leave it for now. So all there's really left to do, let me see about, is to fill that guy up and pick it in. Start with that for now. I'm going to actually turn it around and start with the back. Just so you guys can see a little easier what I'm doing, until it doesn't do what you just saw it do there and suck it all down into the roots. Put a little more on, spread it around, work it in. All right guys, I got it all planted, potted up. That should be, try to get a shot up down here. That should be good enough. All right guys, there you have it. If you can see it. But that guy's started as a bonsai tree. Got a fairly kind of gnarly look going right at the moment, but it'll get better. And like always guys, thanks for watching.